Welcome, Insiders, to another week of Digital Display Insider, where we're helping everyday consumers make educated decisions when they purchase their new LED truck. And so this week we want to dive into the guts of the LED screens and give you guys some information that will help you not only not overpay for your LED screen, but make sure that you're getting a high quality LED screen so it will last you for years to come. And so we're going to jump right into this. Um, why is this important? Well, I just mentioned it. If you just trust the word of the person selling you this truck or the screen that they're giving you high quality stuff, then you could easily be overpaying for what you're getting. And my experience has been I've never met someone who says, yeah, I'm giving you the cheapest thing that I can. They're all going to tell you that it's high quality, that it's good stuff, but you need to be able to ask the right questions to be able to determine for yourself if what you're getting is what they're telling you. And so the first thing when it comes to LED screens that you want to start with is the internal wiring. This is the wiring that's in the PCB board that everything is, the diodes and everything that's connected. There's really two main types of wiring. There's gold and there's copper. Copper is obviously cheaper, and that's the big thing it's got going for it. The problem though is copper is over time going to oxidize. It's going to degrade faster, and especially in humid climates, the oxidization is gonna be prone to just creating issues. So sometimes when you see an LED screen and you see like these pink squares or blue squares, a lot of times that's tied to either the wiring or the chips or a little bit of both, and that's where this comes in. The wiring is extremely tiny, and on those chips you have all these little fingers, and so if you get oxidization in between those, that starts shorting things out and it messes up the screen itself. And so again, it's going to be something that you won't see this on day one when you first buy your screen. These are issues that show up over time that by that point you're either out of warranty or it's just too late. And so it's something that you want to be aware of up front. So for sure, go with gold wiring. Your screens are going to be more expensive, but it will pay off in the long run, and your screens will just last a lot longer than if they were with copper. The, the second piece that you want to look at is called the IC chips. Those are the little computer chips that are on the back side of the PCB board, and that's what's going to control your refresh rate. Now, this is what you will see the most prevalent of if you have the cheaper. How many of you have seen pictures of LED screens and you have the lines going across the screen? Sometimes it's worse than others, but it's definitely there. It's distracting. That's the result of a low refresh chip. Anything that's 1920 hertz or below is going to have those lines because the refresh of the camera and the refresh of the screen are different, and the camera is seeing that refresh rate. Now, again, 1920 and 960 chips are a lot cheaper, and so in order to keep costs down, a lot of these guys are buying these screens with these low refresh chips. But and when you go to buy the truck, chances are you're probably not going to take pictures of it right there when you buy it, or they'll just explain it away. But when you start giving pictures to clients, they will ask about it. You're going to constantly be explaining it away, and it's just not a great representation. So any screen that I order always has the 3840 chips. That way you can just have beautiful pictures of your truck and you don't see the lines. It's really rare that that you'll see lines in any of the pictures of our trucks. So yeah, stick with 3840 and higher refresh chips. And then the last thing is the actual LED diodes themselves. There's two really main manufacturers that most LED screens are using now in the range of screens that you're going to buy, and those are Nation Star and King Light. Nation Star is by far the most popular. King Light is not as popular, but still a pretty decent. They have some decent LEDs, and so if there's anything other than Nation Star or King Light, especially if it's a cheaper screen, I would stay away from it. The reason that those others, the difference you're going to see there is dead pixels. The capsules can die at a lot higher rate if it's either a low quality LED or the manufacturing process of those was not good. I've got a truck right now that's on consignment. It was built by Spark Mobile Billboards, and this truck was almost $300,000 when it was new. It's a giant truck. It's got a lot of square footage of screen. And when the customer brought it to me, he was hoping to sell it for about right around 200 to 210,000. He brought it to me. It was about 3 years old, but it only has 40,000 miles on it. So by rights, he should be getting that kind of money for this truck. The second he turned the screen on and I saw it, there are dead pixels everywhere. Every single module has multiple dead pixels in it, and it creates this freckling effect. And I had to be the bearer of bad news for him and tell him that his truck was basically worth the chassis, because in order to rescreen that truck for the size of it and the amount of square footage it has, it's $100,000 to rescreen that truck. And so now he's taken a $100,000 hit on this unit just a few years into it, because the screens that were used on there had low quality stuff in it. And now, if they would have, I'll put it this way, a few $1,000s on the front end getting good screens, maybe $10,000 at the most, would have prevented him from losing $100,000 just a few years later. And so that's where it comes into play, very, very much so. So those are really the main things you want to look for. And if you want to go deeper into this, feel free to reach out to me and we can schedule a call to go through some of this at a little deeper level. But at the end of the day, you want gold wiring, you want 3840 hertz refresh chips on your IC chips, and you want Nation Star LED diodes. And so you get those three things, you're going to have a good set of screens. It will last you for a lot longer. If you need any consulting, you need help buying a truck or just going through any of this process, you can book a consulting call with me at jerryteeter.com/consulting. And we will see you next week. Have a great week.